Hello everyone, I am Priya here. Today we are going to learn about professional ethics of a counselor. Let us start with the introduction. Counseling is a professional field like any other profession which needs vital attention to the matters, selection and training. In India, owing too many factors such as overpopulation, poverty, literacy, ignorance, neglects the service of the counseling profession. It cannot be emphasized that counseling must find a place in the field of school, college and universities. There are several other avenues in which counseling becomes commanding, such as in the field of education, health, nutrition, family, marriage and so on. Counselors can be made professionally competent with suitable training programs. Every profession has its own ethical code of conduct and can be evolved and implemented through consistent and certification measures. As we all know, counseling is a helping profession in which that underlies the roles, responsibilities, functions of a counselor. There are numerous unique legal and ethical concerns that every clinician should consider when counseling children, adolescents and their families. Counseling profession is the one in which members are especially trained and licensed or certified under to perform unique and needed service for human beings for different kinds of issues. These counselors are recognized by the society as per their services offered like law, medicine, education, psychology, psychiatry, social work and child related issues. To know who is a professional counselor and his responsibilities, to understand counseling preparation and professional issues, to identify the activities of a professional counselor, to be aware of legal and ethical issues pertaining to counseling profession. Now let us see who is a professional counselor. The term professional counselor distinguishes the profession from those who represent with the family, industry, sales and so on. These professionals are full-time active representatives of their profession and they accept the responsibilities of professionalism. These types of counselors have good educational background, training, work experience, designation, nature of setting and characteristics. These professional features help in establishing a nature of professional identity of a counselor in the society. Now we will see what are all the responsibilities of a professional counselor. Professional counselors must be trained and qualified to meet the needs of the client in the society. This training would be an appropriate graduate level or master's degree level which would make them understand professional practice and so on. Professional counselors should seek and obtain the certification which is appropriate to their training, practice and background. Professional counselors need to be committed professionally and personally to update and upgrade their knowledge, skills, attitude to the ongoing process in their life. Professional counselors should contribute themselves in conducting research studies through professional writing, presentations, meetings, conducting workshops, seminars, etc. Professional counselors should have active participation in local, regional, state, national and international organizations. Professional counselors are aware of legal and ethical guidelines in the field of counseling and its practice. Now we will see what are all the personal and moral qualities of a professional counselor. The professional counselor's moral qualities are of the utmost important to the clients. Numerous personal qualities to be considered import in the provision of services, have an ethical or moral constituent and are subsequently considered as the virtues or good personal qualities. It is unfortunate to set down all the professional practitioners possess these qualities, since it is necessary that these personal qualities are deeply rooted in the person concerned and developed out of a personal commitment rather than the obligation of an external authority. Personal qualities to which counselors and psychotherapists are strongly encouraged to aspire include: the first one is empathy, the ability to communicate understanding of other person's experience from that person's perspective. Sincerity, a personal obligation to consistency between what is professed and what is done. Integrity, it is dedicated to being moral and dealings with the others, personal straightforwardness, honesty and coherence. Resilience, the capacity to work with the client's concerns without being personally diminished. Respect, presentation of appropriate esteem to others and their understanding of themselves. Humility, the ability to assess accurately and acknowledge one's own strengths and weakness. Competency, the effective deployment of the skills and knowledge needed to what is required. Fairness, the reliable application of appropriate criteria to inform decision and actions. Wisdom, possession of sound judgment and that inform practice. Courage, the ability to act in spite of known fears, risk and uncertainty. Now we will see counselor preparation and professional issues. The type of preparation of an individual to satisfy any kind of job will be depending upon the nature of job. Job analysis always helps in surrounding the job requirement. The preparation and training needed for every job depends upon its performance, routine activities and the height of complexity. The work of professional job would not be routine, rather it's changing, challenging and also require analysis, synthesis, evaluation and critical appraisal. Thus, any time preparation could be given importance and it's a continuous process which never be complete and concluding. Each professional individual should update their knowledge constantly with day-to-day events. He should be called upon to deal with varieties of situations and issues in which specific training, sometimes it may not be equipped him for it. In that case, he has to generalize the situation through his experience to take responsible actions or decisions. An important concern for counseling is the growing demand for early assortment and training personnel. There is a need to develop helping people with increased complexities of modern living and frustrating situations. Social change also increased all the need for raising the level of competence in counseling. During the last decade, people are treating every kind of situation or failures as mental illness such as school phobias, underachievement, child delinquency and so on. These deviations require special attention and treatment with the proper educational and experienced professions. Now we will see nature of ethics. A code of ethics represents the values of a profession transformed into standards of conduct for the membership. Ethics provides the structure or guidelines for a professional member to follow professional practice and also for the society to help the client issues which affecting their lives. The ethical issues accepts a position as a professional counselor. In India, for making counselor professionally competent, suitable training programs have to be evolved and implemented. Every profession must have an ethical code of conduct for its members and should be implemented through licensing and certification procedures. In the earlier decades of the present century, the counseling movements tend to emphasize the need for appropriate methods, sounds, theoretical basis for practice. Individuals who are engaged in professional counseling have to face these three basic issues, such as the procedure of selection and training, academic preparation to reach the level of profession, adequate knowledge and understanding of principle of dynamics of human growth, development, motivation and adjustments of coping skills, and methods of analyzing the problems and appropriate application of the skills. Now we will see ethical standards of a professional counselor. The ethical issues are concerns which invariably accompany the development of a profession. According to Rain, a profession implies professional relations with the members of the society and counseling relationship in a highly personal one and also a chance of its abuse. It is true that some of the counselors would misuse the counselor-counselee relationship. On the job, the counselor is responsible professionally to practice within his limitations. It is therefore essential that professional rules and ethics could be laid out in no ambiguous terms. This may create public trust and confidence in the profession. Another scientist, Cavell, explains unethical practice may be arise from ignorance, inadequate training and also in self-interest. All these instances would be viewed as unethical behavior. However, society cannot be the mercy of ignorant or ill-trained personal counselors. This can be secured by a system of certification or licensing. A statement of such certification is utmost important for an individual as well as the community. Now we will see what are all the ethical issues of a professional counselor. Ethics refers to human conduct as to make judgments between what is right and what is wrong. It could be that there are several factors which may encourage one to adopt unethical behavior. A right person is the one who can assess the situations and make differentiation between what is morally good and what is wrong in order to follow the code of professional counselor. Thus, maintaining ethical standards is must for the wealth of an organization as well as the development of one's personality. Good ethics will lead every individual to maintain their ethical or honest image. Following are some of the ethical issues in which every profession counselor should obey. Under that, first one is competence. The ethical issues of competence begins with the counselor's acceptance as a professional counselor. The counselor must possess appropriate qualifications and experience, license, certification for his position. When a professional counselor knows that client expectations are beyond their competencies, they should identify a suitable professional or to the client. The second one is confidentiality. The utmost important ethical consideration is confidentiality. Trust is a vital keystone in a client-counselor relationship, and it is the principle of confidentiality. This may be viewed as the ethical responsibility which requires professional counselor to protect from others the information shared by the client during counseling process. The information shared by the client may be sensitive in nature. Even a slight careless handling of the information may cause harmful situation and also unethical to a professional counselor. Lewis listed out some of the ethical practices to be done. Under that, first one is, it is unethical to share the client information with the others, but discussing information about a client with professional counselor is unethical. A professional counselor should not interrupt the third party as present in the counseling room. Then client must know the reason for the presence, and he has every right to permit or deny the person to enter in the room. Special circumstances and situations across the family may vary the counseling process and its confidentiality. Special circumstances related to confidentiality and privilege include counseling the persons with HIV/AIDS, minor or school settings, or children with behavioral problems and child maltreatments. Counselor need not disclose any of the information to any government body or authority. The professional counselor must give foremost importance to the client rather than others. Licensing and certification are used as the basis for legal controlling the practice of several professional areas. But in USA, figures are enforced to ensure the proper management through license and certification. Whereas in India, it has not attracted the attention of state or central government in legal acceptance of the certification or licensing. The statutes should be covered broad areas such as marriage, family, child, school, parent, education, vocational and personal. Exceptions to confidentiality and privileged communications given by the Ramley and Hurley are given below. These are: sharing personal and confidential information is permissible under the following circumstances. Counselor can consult with other experts for the better results. Protecting someone in the dangerous situation may require disclosure of confidential information, such as when counselor suspects abuse or neglect of the children, if client poses dangerous situation to others, if client has fatal or communicable diseases, and his behavior may cause risk to others. In case of group counseling, counseling with the families and couples, counseling with the minor clients, disclosure by court orders. The third one is personal relationship with the client. Every organization has to follow limits in the professional relationship. For example, child maltreatment when the client is minor or mentally ill. Counselors must be aware of most frequently recognized violations of professional ethics may involve child harassment, maltreatment, sexual relationship with the client. If counselors engage in these issues are at risk for the proceedings, loss of license, and also the crude criminal charges. A counselor must avoid exploiting clients for their financial gain or social status or research data or some other ways of motives. She should be aware of human rights and clients. Working with life endangering clients. This include situations such as child abuse, neglect, possible homicide, suicide threats, juvenile cases, and so on. These types of cases may be reported, and counselors also require breaching confidentiality if necessary. Counselors in all situations cannot afford to be legally ignorant. They must understand the law and its implications. The fifth one is appropriate services. Once the counselor gets license and certification after training, he is permitted to accept any kind of client. He can judge himself as he could manage the client and can provide necessary help or advice to the client. The professional counselor must honestly believe that he can and specifically understand he can make efforts to correct any type of false impressions by the client regarding his qualification and competence. If necessary, the counselor can make referral. Infrequently, a client may refuse to accept a referral. It is necessary that counselor should help the client in critical situations or can terminate the relationship. The sixth one is malpractice. As previously mentioned, counselors are expected to function within their professional limits, which is not only ethically expected but also legally appropriate. Some of the most common situations in which legal problems may occur are: counselors may administer drugs to the client to control his behavior, giving advice for mental treatment, giving birth control or abortion related suggestions, violating confidentiality and disclosing privacy of records, personal events in the life of profession. Now let us move to legal consideration of the professional counselor. Licensing and certification are the main basis for controlling legally and practice of several professional areas. In USA and other countries, they follow proper supervision through license and certification. But in India, it has not yet attracted the attention of doing it, either in the state or central government. The major reasons for such type of measures are to prevent the pseudo practitioners from entering into the field. When such type of statutes are made, the professional counselors can be involved largely in the field. Now we will see preparation of a professional counselor. A stable and comprehensive training program should be included, such as basic theoretical preparations, understanding of motivations, human adjustment, psychodynamics, principles of counseling, technical and applied knowledge, understanding of test use, interpretation, interviewing skills, and competencies in specialized procedures of intervention. A broad-based workshop and training for enabling the counselors to meet needs of the client. Practical training and experience. Every counselor must know the culture and cultural background of clients in which the functions with. Counselors need to have sound knowledge and precaution understanding of individual difference and its significance. Every cultural differences has far-reaching effects on individual ethics and personality development. Some administrators argue that to be a good counselor, teaching experience is useful. However, it is argued that counseling and teaching has different activities to have teaching experience. Sometimes teaching attitudes follow authoritarian behavior, whereas counselor performs specific functions like helping people. He must be kind, sincere, intelligent, able, and have a sense of commitment to his profession. Now let us move on to the conclusion. It is important and mandatory to follow ethical standards, ethical issues, and legal concerns for all professional counselors. The dispute of working ethically means the practitioners will inevitably encounter the situations where there are challenging responsibilities. In such situations, it is necessary to retreat from the ethical analysis in order to escape a sense of what may appear to be unavoidable ethical tension. These ethics are proposed to be assistance in such circumstances by directing attention to the variety of ethical factors that may need to be taken into consideration and to alternative ways of approaching ethics that may prove more useful. No statement of ethics can be totally alleviate the difficulty of making professional judgments. By accepting these statements of ethics, members of many other countries for counseling and psychotherapy are committing themselves to engaging within the challenge of striving to be ethical, even though doing so involves many difficult decisions or acting bravely. So, why can't we Indians follow all these ethical considerations in the field of counseling for the betterment of human life and society?